This world shall know pain. Pain unleashes Shinra Tensei. Itamio Kanjiro. Itamio Kangaero. The definition of 1 minute before catastrophe.
Shinra Tensei!
In just a moment, an entire mighty village was completely leveled, as if an enormous, invisible hand had crushed everything beneath it. No screams, no cries, only the sound of pure destruction and clouds of dust rising to the heavens. And above it all, standing amidst the ruins, was pain, like a god descending in judgment. This was the moment that made every viewer shiver. It was too grand, too devastating. Everything, everyone, felt insignificant in front of pain. And terrifyingly enough, beneath the madness, there was a haunting sense of logic. Absolutely epic. No words needed.
Interesting, right? Here, we don't just watch anime. We live every character, every story, every emotion. Don't miss out on exclusive content and fresh takes you won't find anywhere else. Hit that subscribe button now and become part of the most passionate and creative anime community out there. Thanks for the support. This journey wouldn't be the same without you. Next,
Naruto's epic entrance in the pain arc. One of the absolute coolest moments in this entire arc was Naruto's entrance. The Hidden Leaf Village lay in ruins. Destruction everywhere. Cries of despair carried on the wind. The villagers had lost all hope in the face of pain, a being who seemed utterly invincible. And then, a massive cloud of smoke exploded in the heart of the wreckage. Riding on the back of the giant toad, Gamabunta stood none other than Naruto Uzumaki. Flanked by 4 powerful toad warriors, Naruto had arrived, not as a boy, but as something more. His eyes were lined with the orange markings of Sage Mode. That red cloak flapped dramatically in the wind. At that very moment, Naruto's life turned a new page. The kid who used to be ignored had returned with a new power, and he was about to use it in one of the most intense battles of his life. The rest was history, and man, it's such a shame that cloak only showed up once. Naruto uses Shadow Clone Jutsu for the first time. The beginning of a legend. That's the only way to describe the moment Naruto first used the Kagebunshin no Jutsu. Picture this. A kid everyone saw as a total failure suddenly stepped up and stood in front of his sensei, and bam, summons hundreds of clones in one go. It was Naruto's first real plot twist, his big entrance into the world of forbidden techniques, and the moment the story truly began. This was the turning point where Naruto proved he wasn't some talentless brat, and it was the moment he earned his very first forehead protector from Iruka, the first person who truly believed in him. And let's be real, after this, anytime Naruto got stuck, he just started spamming clones like a ninja Wi-Fi router. Naruto awakens the ninetail chakra for the first time. Everyone knew Naruto was feared and shunned because he had a monster inside him. But what was that monster? Enter the Land of Waves arc. Sasuke lay there, body riddled with Haku's Senbon needles, limp, cold, and lifeless. And then Naruto snapped. For the first time, we saw it. That terrifying, burning red chakra rising from his body like hellfire. His bright blue eyes turned blood red, the pupils slitted and animalistic, his nails sharpened like claws, and behind him, a shadowy outline, the faint silhouette of the nine-tailed fox. He wasn't a boy anymore. He was a beast. A guttural growl rose from his throat. His speed and power shot through the roof, and in that moment, Haku realized something terrifying. He wasn't winning this fight. The death of Haku and Zabuza. Some moments in Naruto make you realize you completely misunderstood a character, and the death of Haku and Zabuza is perhaps the most heartbreakingly beautiful example of that. Picture it. In a snowfall so still and pure it hurts, Haku willingly throws himself into Kakashi's attack, choosing death to protect the only person he ever truly cared for. But what really broke us wasn't Haku's sacrifice, it was Zabuza's reaction. The so-called demon of the hidden mist, proud and merciless, crumbles at the loss of the boy who showed him kindness. "He was always too good to me," Zabuza says, his voice shaking with regret. And then, that scene. Bloodied, barely standing, Zabuza clenches a kunai in his teeth and charges straight into Gado's men. Not for victory, but for revenge. For Haku, their deaths became Naruto's first true lesson about humanity in the ruthless shinobi world. It was a moment of tragic beauty, showing that even in a world of war and deception, compassion still matters. Even during the Fourth Great Ninja War, Kakashi still remembers and fights to protect the dignity of their deaths. That's how powerful their story was. Gar Speech. Before the Fourth Great Ninja War, Gaara, once the cold-blooded monster of the Sand Village, now stood tall as the youngest Kazekage in history, addressing thousands of ninja from the 5 great nations. The scene was nothing short of breathtaking. The 5 Kage stood above. The united ninja alliance stretched across the horizon, shoulder to shoulder, and Gaara, calm, steady, commanding, transformed a fractured crowd into a unified army, the largest ever assembled in shinobi history. His words didn't just inspire, they united. No longer were they sand ninja, or leaf, or stone, or cloud, or mist. They were one force, driven by a shared purpose, ready to fight side by side. The roar of thousands echoed as weapons were raised high in unison. A moment so epic, it felt like history being written in real time. Minato versus Toby, a masterclass in being a badass. You want to know what peak badass looks like in Naruto? Just watch Minato Namikaze take down Toby, right when Toby thought no one could touch him. That victory was in his grasp. Minato vanished and reappeared right above him, too fast to blink. And then, boom! Rasengan to the back. In just a matter of seconds, Minato cracked the mystery behind Toby's intangibility jutsu. He marked him with the Flying Thunder God Seal. And just like that, game over. No wasted movement, no showing off, just raw skill and big brain tactics. Minato's Hiraishin level 2 outclassed Toby's phase shift every single time. He even slapped a seal on Toby mid-fight and teleported straight to him. Like, you thought you could run? No. Now you know who your sensei is. And if you've ever wondered why Minato doesn't need tons of screen time to be a fan favorite, this is why. The guy straight up owns some of the most legendary moments in the entire anime. Naruto's sexy jutsu against Kaguya. Too many pretty boys in one place. Swear on Ichiraku's ramen. No one, absolutely no one, could have predicted that Naruto would use the sexy jutsu, the most useless technique in the ninja world, against Kaguya, the literal goddess of all chakra, in the middle of a life or death battle. When just getting close to Kaguya was nearly impossible, Naruto suddenly used Shadow Clone Jutsu and turned into a squad of steamy, shirtless, sparkly-eyed hunks. Yes, that happened. And Kaguya's reaction, this divine being who once ruled the ninja world, froze, like genuinely stunned. She straight up deactivated her Byakugan for a hot second. The whole scene took everyone from high-stakes tension to laughing out loud. I still remember Sakura getting a nosebleed and trying to play it off like the technique only worked on her. No, Sakura. According to a very real study by Trust Me Bro, 98% of all life forms appreciate beauty. Never underestimate the art of simping. But hold up. That's the genius of Naruto. The specialists are predictable. Naruto is dangerous. The death of Obito. The boy who once dreamed of becoming Hokage became the villain who haunted the series for hundreds of episodes, and in the end, gave his life to save the one who shared his dream. Obito leapt in front of Kaguya's attack, fully aware it meant death, but didn't hesitate for a second. As his body began to crack and crumble into dust, his face remained strangely calm, almost peaceful, like this was the only path that could lead him back to who he truly was. He died with a soft smile, and it broke every viewer's heart. This wasn't the farewell of a villain. It was the goodbye of a lost child who had finally found his way home. And in his final moments, as he passed his power and will to Naruto, the scene took on an almost poetic beauty. The circle of fate closed. The Obito who once needed saving now became the one who passed the torch to the next light of hope. Naruto Uzumaki. A tragic yet powerful ending for one of the most complex villains the series ever created. Madara's arrival on the battlefield. Fourth Great Ninja War.
No one could have predicted it. The moment that would flip the entire battlefield upside down. From the eerie mist of Edo Tensei, a legend stepped out of the coffin, Madara Uchiha. And just like that, the war zone fell into terrifying silence. Then, total chaos. Every great war has its god. In this one, it was him. His cold, calculating gaze swept across thousands of shinobi, and even the bravest among them felt their blood run cold. His presence alone dwarfed the army before him. This wasn't your typical villain. This was a living legend, a nightmare incarnate, finally unleashed. And let's be honest, who wasn't hyped out of their minds seeing the greatest villain in Naruto history make his grand entrance? No joke. Madara didn't just have charisma. He was charisma. Cooler, scarier, and somehow even more commanding than the final boss himself. His arrival wasn't just a plot twist. It was a turning point. A signal. From this moment on, you knew things would never be the same. And you knew this war was about to get absolutely insane.
Madara summons a meteor. How insane was this? Madara decided it was the perfect time to test his skill set. With tens of thousands of ninja on the battlefield below, he summoned a massive meteor. Not just a big rock, an actual mountain falling from the heavens. From above, the strongest shinobi in the allied forces looked like tiny ants. Gaara and Onoki desperately struggled to hold it back. And just when they barely managed to stop it, Madara simply said, "Okay, then how about another one?" Absolute annihilation. A single move on a cosmic scale, causing catastrophic destruction. It was in that moment that every shinobi realized they weren't fighting a man anymore. They were facing something beyond comprehension. Madara unleashes Susano. Madara's cool factor is always maxed out, but the moment he unleashed his Susano was something else entirely. His hair and armor lifted in the wind as a monstrous chakra avatar emerged. 2 faces, 4 arms, and a size that dwarfed mountains. It was cinematic perfection. Think Super Saiyan, but deadly refined. Madara just stood there, arms folded across his chest, casually wrecking the 5 cage like they were kids at ninja daycare. That was the moment you realized, oh, this is what peak Uchiha power looks like. His Susanoo wasn't just powerful, it was beautifully destructive. Its blue aura lighting up the battlefield with a glow that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Even now, I still get chills thinking about it. Part of me was terrified. The other part? In absolute awe. Shikamaru avenges Asuma. Never. I repeat, never underestimate an angry Nara. Shikamaru's revenge against Hidan is one of the most satisfying acts of payback in anime. The way he laid it all out, genius. Every move, every trap, calculated down to the second. It was like watching a perfect chess match, with Hidan, the so-called immortal, as nothing more than a sacrificial pawn. Revenge is a recurring theme in Naruto, but this moment? This was something else entirely. When Shikamaru pulled out Asuma's lighter and ignited the explosion that sealed Hidan's screaming body beneath the earth, it wasn't just revenge, it was closure. This wasn't just about payback. It was the coming of age of Shikamaru Nara. The lazy genius turned responsible leader, carrying his master's legacy with unshakable resolve. One of the most unforgettable revenge scenes in anime history. Team 7 reunites in war, summoning the 3 great slugs. There are moments in anime that fans wait forever for, and when they finally happen, it feels like your heart is about to explode from excitement. The reunion of Team 7 during the Ninja War is exactly that kind of moment. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, those kids we all grew up with, now stand side by side as powerful warriors. Each one summons a member of the 3 great summons, Gamma, Manda, and Katsuyu. No exaggeration. This is one of the most epic scenes in all of Naruto history. You can feel the weight of the journey behind this moment, from struggling genin kids to ninjas capable of shaking the entire world. The image of the 3 standing back to back, facing their enemies as a unified front, screams strength and unbreakable bonds. War may tear people apart, but it also pulls them back together. This is the ultimate peak of a story about growth, friendship, and loyalty that has carried us through the entire series. Rock Lee removes his training weights. If there's one moment in Naruto that makes me want to jump up and hit the gym right now, it's when Rock Lee rips off his training weights. The instant those heavy weights drop to the ground, shaking the earth and leaving massive craters, you just know something insane is about to happen. From that very moment, Lee's speed skyrockets to ridiculous levels, like next-level madness. Right after that comes one of the most epic fights. Seriously, one of the best battles in the Chunin exams arc, where Lee nearly breaks the face of one of the coolest opponents in the tournament. And hey, this fight also drops a huge hint about the insane power of the inner gates. Hashirama Senju shows off woodrelease power. This is ultimate flex. You have to see the Senpo, Mokuton, Shin Susenju, the pinnacle of woodrelease power, the divine strength of the first Hokage. This is hands down the most artistic and awe-inspiring chakra avatar design in the whole series. Every detail of this technique is flawless, from the cracking sound of wood echoing through the air to the way its massive fists slam down on Susano. This is what a true legendary shinobi looks like. Minato's epic entrance in the Fourth Great Ninja War. Just when the allied shinobi forces were about to be wiped out by a bijou bomb, poof, it vanishes. Then, like a lightning bolt slicing through the chaos, Minato appears on the battlefield with his signature kunai in hand. His cloak billows behind him, aura radiating pure power. This was the ultimate entrance, unforgettable and full of sheer badass energy. The four Hokage join the battle. And then, as if stepping right out of the pages of legend, the four deceased Hokage stand side by side. No one could believe their eyes. These are the four pillars, the icons, the greatest chapters of Konoha's history. Right there, alive and fighting. We witnessed Kage-level jutsu, the most spectacular techniques in the shinobi world. This moment wasn't just history or tradition told through stories or flashbacks. It was history living and breathing, embodied by the four greatest legends of the Leaf Village. Kaguya's appearance. Everything froze in a single moment. It wasn't Madara anymore. His body swelled and twisted like something inside was struggling to break free. And then Kaguya Otsutsuki appeared. Whoa! The ultimate boss teased for dozens of chapters finally revealed, and her design is seriously impressive. A woman with small horns on her head, long white hair flowing like a waterfall, and piercing white Byakugan eyes staring down as if everyone else were just insignificant insects. Her beautiful face shows no emotion, but beneath that calm exterior lies a power capable of crushing the entire world in the palm of her hand. What follows is the epic battle between Team 7 and this woman wielding the most primal and insane powers, the fight to save the world. The reconciliation scene in Naruto and Sasuke's final battle. I'm not talking about the final fight itself, but that moment when both of them lose an arm, blood staining the valley floor red. The battlefield is totally wrecked, and they're lying there on the intertwined fingers of Madara and Hashirama's giant statues. Man, if their future kids ever visit this historic site and think, whoa, why does this look so gay? Well, yeah, it does, but not really. This is actually the seal of reconciliation. While it's not used in battles or techniques, it's a traditional shinobi way to show that even after a tough sparring match, the fighters remain comrades. Night Guy opening the 8th gate. This is one of the most epic moments in the entire series. Facing off against Madara Uchiha, the legendary Might Guy unleashes his full potential, a power so intense it could cost him his life. Their battle is already insane, but it's the final move that truly steals the show. When all other techniques fail to bring down Madara, Guy drops his ultimate technique, Night Guy. This absolute legend moves so fast his chakra looks like a blazing red dragon, delivering kicks that literally bend space itself. Guy might not have killed Madara, but he etched his name into history as a true ninja legend. The big reveal, Toby's true identity. When a masked character shows up in any story, you know there's going to be a dramatic reveal at some point. And in Naruto, one of the biggest twists ever is the true identity of Toby. At first, everyone believed he was Madara in disguise. But when the real Madara shows up, the mystery only deepens. As Naruto, Kakashi, and Guy face off against Toby, they start noticing something off. His movements, his Sharingan, all eerily similar to Kakashi. And then it happens. Naruto shatters Toby's mask, and the truth comes crashing down. Toby is actually Obito, Kakashi's former comrade, the same boy who gave Kakashi his Sharingan all those years ago. Even though some fans had their theories, that face reveal still hit like a raisin gun to the heart. It's one of the most unforgettable moments in the series, a perfect combo of shock, nostalgia, and heartbreak. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.